So today what we'll be doing is we'll be doing a brief demo of the VAST Enterprise solution. The VAST Enterprise solution is a Windows-based product that has been serving the automotive market for a little over 20 years. Currently today as we speak, we do have 7 of the top 20 tire dealers in the country using this exact product. VAST is an entire point of sale that will also include accounts receivable, end of day process, etc. What we're currently viewing is the home screen for VAST. So you can see VAST is a menus-based system. So if we look at our vertical toolbar, you can see our point of sale menu, our inventory menu, shop report menu, utility menu, etc. If we look at the top, we can also see that VAST has what we call quick access buttons. These will quickly take us to different areas of the point of sale upon clicking them. VAST does have an integrated time clock for checking in and checking out each day for your employees. We also have an integrated appointment scheduler. So if you do use an appointment scheduler in your shop, we do have an integrated process for that. So now what I'd like to do is sort of jump into building a work order and show you how our process works for that. So if we wanted to build a ticket for a customer, what we do is we'd go to our customer contact button. From here, we type in the last name of the customer. So I'll type in a few letters to my last name. I'll hit search. We'll pull up account Ryan Fisher. At this point, the system is going to show me an error message saying that Ryan already has some work orders open in our shop. I'm going to ignore that message. From here, I'll select the vehicle that Ryan has brought today. So we'll say that he's brought his Toyota Corolla. Now what we are viewing is our customer contact screen. So you'll see that the contact screen has all of the relevant contact information on the left, all of the relevant vehicle information on the right. If we choose to enter a new vehicle, we can simply come over to the license button and put in the license plate, the state of that plate, and then hit our VIN button. When we do that, the system will decode our license plate and it will give us the year, make, model, engine size, and VIN number for this vehicle. Now, as a GBMS customer, we will be converting all of your data into the system. You will get 2 years of reprintable invoices, and then all of the other invoices will be viewable, but they'll only be able to be viewed in a line item format like you'll see here. So if we go to our history button, you can see here that we are showing all the invoices we've had with this customer. As we click and change the invoice that we're looking at, you'll see that the items in the invoice will change below. Now my screen is a little undersized at the moment because I'm doing this on a laptop, but you'll typically have a full screen experience when you're using the product. We also have an integration with Carfax. So if we click on our Carfax button, we can see the last reported service for our vehicles, the detailed service records, and the recalls. If there are any recalls for our vehicle, they will display here. Now, if we do want to reference some data before we work on the vehicle, VAST does provide fluid data for each and every vehicle that we enter into our system. So we can see here the recommended capacity for an oil change, the recommended viscosity, alternative viscosity, transmission fluids, all the way down to brake fluids. We can also hit our info button so we can reference basic specs on the vehicle that we might want to look at before we start work on the car. Now that we've assigned our customer contact, now what we'll do next is jump into our work order screen. The system will ask me if we are going to do an inspection on this car, what type of inspection we're going to do, so I'll select that. So let's say today that our customer wants to get a new set of tires. Well, in this scenario, what we'll do is we'll hit our tire sizes button, we'll type in the tire size that we want, so we'll say 225, 55, 17. And now we're pulling up our tire lookup screen. So the screen is going to show us the tires that we stock or that we typically stock in our shop. If a customer calls in and they're not exactly sure what tire they want, well, we can select a couple tires here and hit the compared selected tires button. And at this point, we will have a tire comparison with nice clean pictures here and a breakdown of all the tires that we're potentially offering our customer. Customer will also get a price per tire and a price package price, including installation, out the door for the for those tires. So again, if I change that quantity to 2, you'll see that that price is reflected in the out the door price. We can print this off for the customer, or we can email them this comparison right from our computer. Now this tire screen is completely customizable, so if there's specific data that you want to show that is not shown on the screen, you can certainly do that. Now, if for whatever reason we run into a tire that we don't stock, well, then we can simply hit our V-Tire button, click on one of our wholesalers, and then we will display their on-hand availability and their pricing for the tires size 225, 55, 17. If our customer says they want a Michelin tire, well, maybe we'll filter our returns to only show Michelin tires. At this point, we can see the cost of the tire to the business owner, so it'll be $159. Then I'll also see the selling price of that tire of $206. We're getting that selling price by applying your predetermined markups to those tires when we set you up in the system. Lastly, highlighted in yellow, we will see how many tires that this customer has on hand. Now, since we do have some tires in our local inventory, we're going to sell them. So I'll click on the tire, I'll hit quantity 2, and we'll hit done. Now at this point, the tire will be thrown onto my work order screen as well as a few services for those tires. So we call those services tag-along parts. Tag-along parts are any service associated with the sale of a certain product. Every time we sell a tire in my system, we will bill for the wheel balance fee, the tire disposal fee, a TPMS repair kit, and the road hazard warranty. Now, when it gets into parts, we have a few different ways of putting parts onto a ticket or service items. You can use product codes just like you do in GVMS. So if you have an 093 code that you'd like to use, we can build that into the system for selling services. Alternatively, we do have the ability to integrate with our catalog. Our catalog will connect us to your parts vendors so that we can use integrated ordering within our system. So again, if I do want to use the integrated ordering, all I'll do is right-click, go to Vast Commerce, and vItem Broker. vItem Broker is our connection between your system and your parts houses. So if I want to sell brake parts, well, I'll select brake parts, and let's say I want to sell a set of new brake pads to our customer. I'll click on brake pads, and I'll hit our parts button. At this point, the system will ask me some pre-qualifying questions. And then we will reference our local inventory. Now you can see I do have some parts built in my local inventory, but I don't have any in stock because we see this minus sign right here. So now what I'll do is I'll call out to CarQuest. And again, we're doing this call out in real time to get updated pricing and availability. And they will display all of their braking parts that they have available for this vehicle. So again, if I want to sell a set of front brake pads here, I can see the front brake pads that are available for the Professional Platinum line. I can see the cost, the price to my customer, and of course the MSRP, and then the price to our customer. So again, we're getting that customer price by taking your predetermined markups and applying them to the cost of this product. You can also see that they have over 9,000 of these parts in stock, so I know I can order them. So I'll select the part, and then I'll go to labor. We integrate with the Motors labor guide. So our system knows based on the parts we've selected what labor we need to look up. So I will click on that. The system will now show me labor time for front brake pad R&R. The system will also tell me what the labor time includes and what it does not include. Once we're finished, we'll post that onto our ticket and select the order button, and then we'll hit post an order. At this point, an electronic order request has been sent to CarQuest, and we've got a notice that they have received that request. If we'd like to, we can print out our purchase order receipt. Now, once the part gets to our shop, all we have to do is right-click on this part, go to Outside Purchase. The system will automatically bring over the vendor that we ordered the part from, the part number, the quantity that we ordered, and the cost and price. All we have to do is confirm that who ordered the part. We'll say that we did receive the right quantity, and then we'll put the invoice number from the ticket that we got from our vendor. We can also tell the system how we want to pay for this part that we're receiving. More often than not, we'll say charge, which will then make a payable transaction in this vendor's account in our QuickBooks product. So VAST does have a full integration with the QuickBooks product, so everything that happens in point of sale transfers over to the QuickBooks product. Once we've finished building our ticket here, we can also take a look in the right-hand corner here. Oops. Take a look in the right-hand corner and look at our overall profitability on this ticket. So we can see here that we've sold $511 in parts, $154 in labor, $280 or $28 in tax, for an overall gross profit of 51%. 51% also equates to $337.85. We can also look at profitability per item. So if we highlight our mouse over each of those individual items, we'll get a look at our profitability for that sale. Now, once we're ready to invoice the customer, all we're going to do is hit the exit button, hit create an invoice. And then at this point, we're going to have certain requirements that we have to do before creating the invoice. So number one, it's going to ask me to assign technicians to the order. It'll then ask me to capture the DOTs for the tires. For tires, we do have an integration with a company called Tire Metrics. Tire Metrics is a company that registers tire DOT numbers for you right from point of sale. So all you have to do is type them in here, and Tire Metrics will register them online for you. We'll repeat that. Now again, I'm using fake numbers, so they'll come back as invalid numbers. We will ignore that. And then lastly, we need to put a mileage in and mileage out for the ticket. Once we've done that, now we're going to invoice the customer. We do have an integration for the Goodyear credit cards. If you do want to take those, we can certainly do that. But then from here, we're just going to say how we're paying for the purchase. Now, one of the issues I know that you've faced in GBMS is you haven't had the ability to split payments between multiple cards. If we'd like to do that, we can certainly do that from this screen. Now that we've finished our ticket and we've received the money, I'm going to hit print to finalize the transaction. Oops. And now I print it to a PDF, but now we'll get a look at what our invoice looks like. So if you want any custom logos, we can certainly put those at the top. And we'll get a breakdown of all the items sold on the ticket, as well as a grand total at the bottom. So that's a sort of an overview of how we use our point of sale. If we do want to run a national account transaction, it's very similar. We would just go through our corporate fleet account and go to Goodyear and run a U.S. national account. From there, our system will prompt us to go through certain steps to process a national account. You did ask again, how we handle vendor payables. Again, we have an integration with the QuickBooks product, so we handle all of our payables through that product. We do handle accounts receivable from the VAST software. So if we want to, we can click on our utilities button. We can go to our accounts receivable screen. From here, we can do AR lookup, cash posting. Any of our AR functionality can all be done right through this screen. The last thing that you did want to see were some sales stats. So we do have the ability through our VAST reporting tool to give you a long list of different stats. Anything from sales by class, by invoice, by customer type, your top selling products, salesman reports. If there's any specific report that you'd like to see, I can certainly print you out a copy of that, but we do have a list of over 50, 60 different reports here. I'm also going to be attaching a separate video to the email that'll walk you through our end of day process. So Chad, if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me and we will go from there. Thank you.